Hi, it's Chris Croft here again from successfultrainers.com, and I'm helping people to get into the world of being a freelance self-employed management trainer. Now, something you'll want to do later on in your training career probably is to get into speaking at conferences. And conferences pay a lot more per hour than ordinary training does. But one of the things you need if you're going to successfully get into the world of conferences is a show reel. Because people will want to see footage of you strutting around on stage, telling amusing stories, and the audience hanging on every word and leaning in and laughing and all that sort of thing. So we need to see that. So how do you get a show reel? Well, the first thing is you need to film it with 3 cameras, really. So here's you and here's all the audience. You want to film it from 3 different angles. First of all, you need to film it from the back, so that you can see a great big audience and you as a relatively small figure in the distance with all these heads. And then behind you, there's probably a great big screen with your presentation. Secondly, you need to film it from the side so they can see you and a couple of rows of the audience, and you can see them looking at you and leaning forward and smiling and laughing as you talk. So they need to see you and the audience. And then the third one that you want to have is more of a close-up. So this will be taken perhaps at this kind of angle or even from the back, but with a big long lens so they can see the close-up of you talking. And probably just a few blurry heads in between the camera and you, so they can see you talking and it's just a few heads. It's different to the wide shot from the back where we can see the whole room. So you need probably all 3 of those angles, and then they're going to be cut in together for the final show reel. So that's the first thing you need. You also need to think about a microphone. Usually there's a microphone at the venue anyway, and maybe you can tap into the sound, but that can be difficult to get. So it might be better to just wear a little microphone, some sort of Bluetooth wireless microphone, so that you can get really good sound. Because the last thing you want to do is be recording the sound from the back with all these people shuffling and coughing and things in between you and the camera. So for the sound to be decent, you need a good wireless microphone. The alternative is just to put music on top and they can see you talking, but they can't hear you. And you can get away with that, but it's much better if you've got a recording of your voice. So you need to think about microphones. I think it's okay to tell the audience that you're doing it. So you could say to them at some point, by the way, I'm recording 5 minutes of this for my show reel. It's just the back of your heads. But if you could, for the next 5 minutes, look really keen and laugh extra loudly for me, that would be great. Now, obviously, it depends on what kind of talk, whether you can do this. But if it's the type of thing where you can have a bit of fun and do it, then I think it's fine. And hopefully the audience will play along. Because the last thing you want is somebody falling asleep in the middle of your carefully framed shot, or somebody looking really bored. So tell the audience you're going to do it, and hopefully they'll be able to join in. And if you've got a good rapport with the audience, then they'll be fine with that. So tell them you only need to get about 5 minutes or less of footage. You could film the whole thing and then just find the best bit. Or you could tell them, we just want to take 2 minutes of film. And if you could all lean in and look happy, that would be really great. And just get between 2 and 5 minutes of footage. If you're doing a talk in a really nice venue, take the chance to film it, or at least take the chance to get some photos. So if it's big, or it's a very beautiful, nice room, then think to yourself, I need to film this. And particularly if it's well lit, that's another thing. If it just looks good through your camera, then just think, I want to get some pictures of this. And finally, you need to think about who takes the pictures. Because I've had a few talks I've done at massive venues and I didn't get any pictures or any film. And I've had some other ones at big venues where I've given my phone to somebody and say, can you take some pictures? And at the end, they've taken about 2 and they were both just rubbish. I'm not even in it. Or they've got somebody, fast asleep right in front of the picture and I'm just behind them. So get somebody who's got a bit of an eye for photography. In fact, ideally pay a photographer to stroll around while you're talking, get some good angles, maybe a low down angle or some artistic stuff. Just get a good photographer to take a lot of pictures, and hopefully there'll be one good one in the whole collection that you get. But really, you'd be planning ahead because you'd have 3 cameras and you'd get video as well as stills footage. So this is really important. At least get the stills when you're at a big venue, but maybe take the chance to get some showreel material, and that will pay back massively later. So that's one of the things we'll be considering on the Successful Trainers program. Go to successfultrainers.com. If you want to book a call with me, we can talk more about all this.